Sup, it's your unfriendly red rat neighbor Kevin Cornish, and I'm back with a brand new video. But before we get into this, I'd like to point y'all attention to that description button or description down below. What if creators such as Kid Zeus of Kid Zeus Studios, Six Master of the Meister Clan, Lord Titan, Gratify, just to name a few. These are what the creators that I think are amazing, but that's just my opinion. Head on over to their page, check out their content, and tell them the Cornish Man sent you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Tickle that bell notification to get notified whenever I upload a brand new video. So you could keep up to date. I know I'll be making good what ifs, or yeah, good, because they're not great. But anyway, I keep forgetting that my TikTok and Discord link is also in the description. If you just want to holla at a nigga, help a nigga out with some brand new what ifs ideas, head on over to my Discord. Just remember, we don't bite unless you want us to. If you just want to see me training my fat cat to lose some weight or having a karate session with a fucking dog, head on over to my TikTok. Don't forget to like and follow. So as you can see, I made my thumbnail very colorful this time. Why? I was bored. I was really bored. I was planning on making really dark because the episode pertained to a bunch of dark shit. But come on, it doesn't have to be all gloomy-ish. The fucking what if already is going to be like really fucked up. But anyway, this is what if Deku was in a dead game. Reason why? Because then I've been watching a lot of dead game movies for some apparent reason. Oh, because I wanted to do a dead game what if. Yeah. No, I'm very obsessed with dead games. I mean, the rest of the movies are very boring. I guess one I watched yesterday kind of freaked me out because then it was weird. It was not like basically a dead game, but it sounded like a dead game. So this like there was this old homeless guy and a bunch of white dude. It was very racist. Bunch of white dude, but this homeless guy had military background or some shit, and then they took this homeless guy, gave him some money, he slept in the hotel, and they took him out in the world and started hunting the guy. The guy ended up fucking killing everybody and got lost. So it was a conundrum in it of itself. So the end of the movie was fucked up because they all died, like including the homeless guy, because the forest was devoid of life and shit like. But anyway, that was not what we were getting off to. We were actually sorry about rambling over and over for another movie I've been watching. Yeah, so we're gonna hit it off into the last part we left off, where Deku fought off a bunch of mutated Nomus. Yeah, mutated Nomus. He used up maybe a lot of it, most of his energy, and passed out. In the last scene, we had a shadow figure looming over him, and it's been 3 days now. I mean, 3 days have passed since that incident, and basically 3 days has passed. Simple. So Deku is finally waking up and stuff like this. As he noticed on his arm, there's a D instead of numbers this time. He's wondering what the hell is going on. He tried standing up, but noticing that he is not balanced, something's wrong with Deku's body. He went over to seeing, there was a pool of water around him, or they were still around an ocean, but in a cave. So he went over to the fucking ocean since it was calm and stuff to, wash his face. That's what you do when you just wake up. You wash your face. Granted, it's salt water, but fucking wash your face. Yeah. So he washed his face as he noticed that his hair is changing color. There's specks of red in his hair now. Now, why would that be? And somehow he grown like 8 more inches in the past 3 days, and he's trying to figure out what the fuck is going on, but he dismisses this because then there was a beautiful figure walking towards her. So check this out. I did do a little digging on it. I know her last name is Shield, but I didn't do much about it. I accidentally just focused on her father because we're going to be doing a little flashback in a few. Mind you, me, you'll understand in a minute. So, everything snapped out of his mind when he noticed that a beautiful blonde haired girl with big boobs, in this one, they kind of already been here for 3 days, and she been running through the forest. So, of course, a couple pieces of her clothing would be ripping or tearing off or some such. Um, so she kind of looked fine because she ripped off a few of her clothing herself so she could make more, so she can maneuver better. I'm guessing, yeah, so she can maneuver better. So she's rocking them booty shorts and them tank tops. Like, what the fuck? Isn't there mosquitoes on this island? But anyway, that was not the point I was trying to get at. Anyway, so Deku turns around, sees Shield. I mean, the female Shield, the daughter of David Shield. Anyway, sees Shield. He kind of, froze for a little bit. Then Shield ran over to him, stating that, you're not feeling so well. You actually used up a lot of energy to, defeat those whatever they were. Because at this moment, she doesn't know what they were, or they are, because they're still more, but they're not fucking with Deku at this moment. They're afraid of Deku, feeling that he possessed powers similar to All For One, and stay away from that little nigga. They said, they didn't say that, but you know what I meant, right? So Deku then, gathered his composure as he, responded to her, stating that he's feeling fine. Then they both introduced themselves, with Deku stating that he's, Izuku Midoriya. And what's her first name again, man? That's the thing. Anyway, she's Shield. Fuck. We all know this is fucking Shield. So don't get into the complication of me not knowing her first name. I'm not that keen to paying attention to certain stuff, like like anime bitches. I mean, if I do have a waifu, it would be Hinata and Uraraka and this chick from Pokemon. What's her name? I forgot to, but Misty. Yeah, it was Misty, right? I'm also sure. But yeah, those would be my waifus. Besides that, I would more prefer them to be in real life, so I don't simple for those as much. But anyway, so they introduced themselves, and Deku was wondering what a sweet girl like you is doing in a place like this. You're a sweet girl. You have conversation, and he figured out, or she told him that he was passed out for the last 3 days, and he's like, yo, you're a really cool girl. You stayed by my side for 3 days, and you don't even know me. Suppose, I was like this, bad dude. I'm supposed I was going to rape you, kill you, and or not in that order. Yeah, that was so messed up. But yeah, but then she then reveals that she has a quirk herself. Granted, she didn't have a quirk. This is a sick joke from All For One, stating that she could feel the emotions of other people, and as it's useless. I mean, because we give a flashback now, where All Might's dead, and David Shield has gotten himself, plunged himself in a deep depression, which caused his daughter to take over the support gear company. I'm not sure, but she makes support gear for Quark support gear. Yeah, right. But a few years later, her father did get kidnapped kidnapped by All For One, so that he could, invent something to fix that scrotum for face. He complied with that idea, but not in that sense that he actually did. So David Shield is dead. The complication of that was David Shield actually made something that would have killed All For One, but All For One was a little bit smarter than him, plunging one of his normal into the device and watching the normal burst into liquid sludge, like, goo, like, it just poof, made a fucking really gross sounds, like the grossest sound you could actually think about. It could be specific for anyone, but for me it's like, when you mix I'm not gonna be like, really fucked up, but when you mix like, alfredo, or any kind of pasta with a lot of goo in it, that sounds really, really disgusting to me. Like, that just irritates my entire being. Granted, I do make myself in, macaroni and cheese every now and again, or fucking stuff, but um I play loud music because I don't really like that sound. It sounds fucked up. Now, on the other hand, it kind of sounds well when it's something else, but y'all know what I'm getting at. But when, you're storing it in a fucking pot, it's disgusting. So it actually sounded like, when you're mixing macaroni and cheese and you put a hell a lot of cheese in that motherfucker. That's how he exploded. So that's what's disgusting to me. I mean, anyway, that was not. So All For One actually killed David Shield, which prompted his daughter to work even harder. Now, this is where the reason she got sent on the island was she made a few support gear for some rookie heroes who was excited about the gear, the items at first, but when it came to perform, it kind of faltered a little bit, and these three rookie female heroes got assaulted, raped, battered, bruised, raped again, and ultimately end up hating daughter Shield for obvious reason. Is the gear or the item was made by her company or by her herself, because then probably they were friends in high school in somewhat of a way. So they did filled out the documents after they got rescued by other heroes, which they then quit their hero job and blamed young Shield for that mistake. They signed up the paper, and she's now on the island competing in a fucking dead game. And so she was telling this to Deku. She's a chatterbox as well, and stuff. So Deku started weeping because he is a softie in his own right. The nigga is a fucking, he's a badass, shut-in recluse type motherfucker. But he's also sensitive now. We're gonna make him a little bit sensitive as well, especially when it happens to pertain to girls. So boom. So we shift off. They're finally enjoying a meal. Oh, by the way, a couple days earlier, helicopter flew over the island and dropped boxes and stuff, limited boxes. So they were forced to fight each other. That was the plan, actually. So whenever they're heading towards the collect the containers, they should clash with each other to obtain these stuff. So let's describe what's all on the island. So there's mutated Nomus, there's villains, there's assortment of heroes, there's mutations. There was some fucking lizard that's very weird looking, and they eat every fucking thing. They don't discriminate on what they want to eat. They're not mutated. They're genetically altered by All For One for the gaming purposes of causing mayhem, to influence people, kill or be killed, what I mean? And various other mechanized items, such as a few robots for some apparent reason. They had robot dogs, robot fishes and a huge fucking blob looking motherfucker for some apparent reason. So the island was made to be as dangerous as possible, so that you know the greatest warrior could be born. So it's like that that story. It's not a story, but I've heard it mentioned in a few movies, animes, and books where they put a bunch of bugs in a fucking kettle or something, and every bug go on and kill themselves or kill each other till one fucking bug is left alive. So it's gonna be similar, you know, mindset towards it. So think of the island as a huge jar and the contestants as bugs, killing out each other so they could, you know, become something greater, something either sinister or fucking awesome. Depends on the fucking victor of this fight. So boom, Deku and Shield is they're enjoying a delicious cup ramen and stuff, because they, oh, and if y'all didn't notice, there's a bunch of bumped reference in here. So bumped is that that anime that's awesome and stuff. I hated the ending. They should continue with season 2 if they have a season 2 for that anime. It's an amazing anime. I want to see them fuck, but demonetized. But anyway, so yeah, there's a bunch of reference from that anime. You know, been spitting out in this what if. So don't copyright me anymore. That shit is fucking annoying. How you copyright people? That's stuff for no apparent reason. That's dumb. I got copyrighted once for a fucking thumbnail. So I mean, anyway, that's not relevant. Anyway, I don't know where we're getting at. We were somewhere at it though. Oh yeah, so you know, Deku and Shield were enjoying a cup of ramen and shit like this, and you know they got interrupted, you know, real badly, because then this is an opponent that you know enjoys killing. He was killing all the way through the past 3 days. He haven't eaten shit. Smelling the ramen though, kind of in, you know, awoken his senses that he's hungry, and you might as well get a few kills in with it, as he then lunged himself off a cliff, falling on top of where both Shield and Deku were sitting inside a cave. So he broke the fucking cave with his body. They managed to escape thanks to Deku's new found abilities where he sensed danger. So he has Deku sense now. It's similar to Spider sense, but fuck, let's call it Deku sense, nigga. Stop being technical about the situation. Deku sense activated, and he made his way carrying, you know, the young Shield in his arms, as you know, Princess carrying that bitch out of the cave, while this humongous being crashed and demolished the cave. Dust was up in the air. They, you know, it finally scattered with this fucking grotesque, muscly looking motherfucker laughing, stating that, oh, I missed. We then see the fucking idiot is muscular. Now, granted, remember I mentioned muscular in this one. This fight is going to be uber epic. You wanna know why? Because Deku wanted to figure out why is there a D on his shoulder, because the last time he checked it was 1Q. Now it's a D. Figuring out that he has, you know, Deku sense was quite surprising to him as well, because he never used that before. And how could he tell that he was in danger? So let's test this out. Granted, muscular has been killing, and if you remember correctly, for every kill you get a quirk. So muscular has a lot of quirk. As the fight ensues between Deku and muscular, That could kind of inform Shield to, duck and hide since her quirk was basically useless. Thanks to All for One wanted her to die faster, thanks to what her father did, kind of turning his scrotum head more deformed than usual. But this time, so remember when I said he placed the Nomu into the fucking device and the device exploded? So Dr. Shield actually tricked One for All, stating that the machine was basically designed only for him. Anyone else that goes in that doesn't have his DNA structure would, spontaneously combust. So he did actually still went into the machine, but he kind of saved himself when he noticed that he was going to spontaneously combust. So he lost both his legs. So All for One doesn't have any legs, probably no nuts as well. But anyway, no, don't take that. Take the nuts part. He didn't. He just doesn't have any ankles. I mean, knees anymore. Um, yeah, all from a knee down. From a knee down. So he probably still has a dick or something. Why am I talking about dick and balls all of a sudden? That's so fucking weird. But anyway, she does this. Deku and Muscular starts their fight. The fight is one-sided somehow, with Deku being the losing party of the fight. Cause remember, he doesn't know the activation of this new D quirk. Um, so he's kind of just using his Deku sense. And Deku sense and D quirk is one and of the same, just that Deku sense is like 0.1% of his complete power. Uh, Sooner or later we'll figure out what is going on. So, young Shield, Mrs. Shield or daughter Shield, whatever her fucking name is. Next episode I'll get it correctly, because if y'all don't know, this is going to be the relationship in this. What if I didn't bring Uraraka to the island, because I don't want Uraraka to be facing all this bullshit, but I brought a few others, such as Momo and this next one from the same, how you call this, she's also a quirk tech as well, or an engineer, the one with the pink hair. I forgot her name. Yeah, she's here on the island as well. But that's not what we were getting at. We were getting at Deku getting his ass whooped by an overpowered Muscular. He has heat vision. He has in I mean endurance, stamina, and fucking a few other techniques of his own. Rapid regeneration. He could also emit blades from his skin, or turn his muscles into great blades. He mm, he could duplicate himself as well. This is all Muscular's abilities. Granted, he was fucking rampaging through the island for 3 days, so he's packed stacked with abilities beyond abilities. Deku is having a difficult time because, again, he hasn't figured out how he should activate his D quirk. His Q1 quirk was quite simple. He thought, it just activated. He didn't even think about how it was activated. He just activated it, and it activated. But the D quirk is quite different. So he's getting his ass whooped thoroughly. And so young Shield, or Shield Girl, kind of was not going to be taking this anymore, as she ran out of her hiding place, distracting Muscular for a moment. Not distracting Muscular for a moment. Muscular was about to kill her for a moment. Deku, seeing this, kind of slowed time in his head. Everything moves really slowly for a minute. As Muscular was reaching for young Shield, so he could crush her with his bare hands, stating that she is quite weak and he will put her out of her misery. So he was going to boom, a flash of red and green light emerged from nowhere with Muscular, you know, looking up and looking down as he noticed his fucking hand is gone. But he has rapid regeneration as it, grew right back. Deku was standing over on the opposite side of him as he now sees Deku's transformation. Deku was, covered, not covered, but he had sparks of red and green lightning flowing from his skin. His hair stood up straight like a Saiyan, as the red in his hair gradually covered his entire hairline. His head. His eyes turned bright red to indicate that his D quirk is activated. And his D quirk is technically a devil gene quirk. Hey, you know what I did there? Did you see what I did there? I added the devil genes to a quirk. My boy Deku is now a wielder of devil quirk. It's basically in it of itself is comprised of many other quirk, and how this happened. Flashback. Not flashback. When he did that spontaneous combustion with a huge bomb, all the normals, or all the mutated normals, had quirk, but they're symbolized as demons, so their quirk was demonized. So Deku is an only person with the demon quirk, a quirk unknown basically to MHA universe at all. So it's now been named. Muscular is like, ha, you're not so weak, boy. Come at me. Deku, not saying anything, placed Young Shield on the ground. Young Shield is like really astounded on how Deku is looking now, because he kind of looks a little bit cooler now. His hair is red, his eyes are dark black and red. He actually grew another 2 inch or so, it looks like, or 3-4 inches, it looks like, as his muscles protrudes. He got a little bit more muscly and stuff like this. He took one step and he's in front of Muscular now. He just took one step. You could actually see 1 foot touching the ground, and he's in front of Muscular. Muscular got startled for a bit as he fired a punch at Deku. Deku stopped the punch with a single finger. You hear me? A single finger. This guy was breaking boulders and fucking throwing huge rocks at Deku earlier. And fucking whenever he punched, he creates a huge crater. In fact, that punch Deku stopped with a single finger actually did create a little crater on the ground. But Muscular is like, oh, I'm fucked. And rightfully so, because he's literally fucked. Deku started moving in light speed, punching, kicking, and just causing havoc. After Deku stopped, you could see a battered and beaten up Muscular. Not battered and brutal. Every hit that Deku gave to him, a piece of Muscular skin explodes. You feel me? Muscular then regenerate himself. But Deku wasn't wasting any time as he grabbed Muscular by the face, threw him in the air, and placed both his hands together, compressing a beam of dark energy. As he compressed the beam, first it was huge, it was just zoom. He made a huge dark ball. Then he compressed it till it was the size of a tennis ball. As Muscular was coming down back, because then he almost threw Muscular out of the stratosphere, but he came back down. Muscular was coming back down. Deku looked up into the air, searching for Muscular as he threw the black spear into the air. It caught Muscular. It didn't do anything. Muscular was like, "What the hell is this? This is nothing." As he tried shrugging it off, it was on his hand. He tried shaking it off. It was on his feet. He tried fucking wiggling his feet, and it would not leave him. It was like Minetta's sticky ball, but not really. Like, it was similar in some ways or another. A few seconds later, it started sucking in air into itself. As we now see Muscular finally figuring out what the fuck this thing is, and it's a mini black hole. Muscular got sucked into that motherfucker, and we never see him again. Deku's, because it was a small D, like, this letter D, like small D, transformed into the capital D, with Deku then passing out once again. Young Shield ran to him to check on his being. As she looked at him, she was in awe. Red cheeks and all that shit, man. But anyway, this is where we're going to leave this off. Hopefully you like watching this one as much as I enjoy making it. I know I was rambling on a bunch, but that's just me. Anyway, check out all the links in the description below. What If creators such as Six Meister of the Meisterkan Kizus of Kizu Studios, Gratify, and YK, just to name a few. These are What If creators that I think are amazing, but that's just my opinion. Head on over to their page, check out their content, and tell them the Carnage Man sent you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that comment button. Subscribe. Tickle that bell notification, get notified whenever I upload a new video. I keep forgetting that my link to my Discord and TikTok is also in here. Head on over both. See you in the next one. This is Kevin Carnage.